It's nice to be nice. Podcast.
Trademark.
Emily, we're back again.
We're back. Look who's back. We're back again, because we left for a little bit ago, and now we're back for real. Is that on?
Yeah, I'm just going to turn the gain down a little bit.
Oh, is your microphone on? Okay. So, this is our second YouTube episode. Fingers
Third.
crossed. No, second.
Third. We have two.
This is our third YouTube episode.
Yeah.
It's crazy how...
We should probably stop talking about each other actually on YouTube, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we are.
We just keep being like, this is our 47th one. People are like, we haven't seen any of them. We're like, where the fuck are you? We're like, we don't know.
We're sorry about the delay. We're just, working out the kinks, and thank you for your patience. And
thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your patience. And we're back, and I missed you. I haven't seen you. This is the longest I've gone without seeing you in quite a long time.
We see each other every single year.
And now we're done.
For hours. We used to just sit in an attic, and we would schedule our appointments. We would talk. We would eat. When we were there together forever.
Yep. Yeah. It was good times. I miss those. Well, I don't miss those days, but I miss... Oh, my ride's here. Gotta go.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Do you think whenever people rev their cars, what do you think the goal is? Do you think that people everywhere are just like, oh, fucking yeah?
There's a really funny sketch this guy named Brett Moline did.
I just watched it.
You did not.
About the revving the car?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And where they're like, that's the biggest dick in the world.
I just watched that.
So that's, he's really funny.
Yeah, he is really funny.
And he also does a really funny improv show called The Late Great Show with this guy, Jono from, did you ever watch I Love That For You with Vanessa Bayer?
Yes.
He's the Southern guy. And they do a really funny, it's like an improv late night talk show at the Opry Citizens Brigade. That's really funny. But that being said, those motorcycle sounds and car revving sounds make me feel like I'm going to jump out of my skin. Yeah. I have like a strange reaction to it. Like it makes me so uncomfortable. And I've often wanted to pull up next to one at a stoplight.
Finger yourself?
No. Oh. And just say, why do you do that? Like, what's the point?
Because it's so cool.
But it's not cool.
But here's the thing though. I have a friend and he like loves that shit. He likes cars. So he like...
Who?
It doesn't matter who they don't know.
Oh, what do I know?
Yes. But
is it who I think my favorite person?
Oh my God, it doesn't matter. This is confusing to them.
Right, sorry.
But I know a person who is my friend, who you also know.
Okay.
That loves cars, and like when that stuff happens, like they're like, "Did you hear that? Did you hear that?" And I was like only men can make something annoying more annoying.
Right.
By being like, "Did you? That's a, you know what this is? That's a cross tank quirk flipping." And I'm like, listen, let me tell you a secret. All it was to me was fucking loud.
That sounds like someone into bird calls. You know what I mean? Like they can be like, that
sounds bad too.
That's a silver-breast warbler. You know what I mean? But no, it's a douchebag from Encino. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that bird is such a douchebag.
My question is, but does he do it in his car, or he just recognizes
his car doesn't do it?
Okay.
But cars that do it are apparently like very cool. Like they're like a good car.
But to who?
To car people.
To that one person.
Like those people that know cars, that noise would be like if you heard a Taylor Swift song, you'd be like, beauty. Like,
no, I don't. Maybe, but
you couldn't tell us the album the Taylor Swift song came from.
No, I could for sure. Yeah, but exactly. I'm saying that it all sounds the same and equally horrible
to us.
Oh yeah, maybe I just don't have like a sophisticated eardrum.
Well, not everything's for us.
I don't like that.
Yeah, but that's how I feel. I mean, it's so fucking annoying. It's the same way with like you know what else?
Like, do you think that, and it's really only men that do it. I don't mean to be a generalizer, but
I'm sure there are women that have nice cars that do it.
I have never heard that, because it happens in LA a lot, and I live on a busy street, and I hear it all the time. And I've never seen just like a normal looking person do it. You know what I mean?
They're always like vaping out the window and wearing like Oakleys, and they're doing circle tricks with their vape pen.
But like, why?
They drive by you, rev the engine, their vape spells out, "Hey, bitch."
What do you feel about people that listen to music so fucking loud in their car?
It's not my business. I don't really think about it.
But it is your business.
I don't care. The thing is, like, I'm not going to be there long enough for it to matter to me.
Here's my thing about when someone says it's not your business. If it's come across my desk, if it's come across my ears, my eyes, it has immediately become my business.
It's coming across you in the public. The public is not your space. The public is the public.
But what I'm being exposed to is my business.
Right.
I don't believe
But why would I need to go through life being mad at someone for listening to music?
I'm not mad at them.
Now, if you were like my neighbor and you were listening to crazy ass music and I was in my home and it was disturbing me, that's different. If we're like at a red light and your music is loud, I don't give a shit.
See, that drives me nuts, because I just don't like the lack of awareness of other people. Like, I don't And like same when people go hiking or biking and are listening to really loud music, like you don't get to pick the music for the public.
Well, I just couldn't. Well, we're together so small. The amount of time that I hear the music is so little.
Not if you're on a hike. Not if you're on a walk.
And someone's just walking behind you with a boombox.
Or no, they listen to it on their iPod. Like you've never gone to like on a hike and have someone behind you listening to music. I've been on a hike with you,
and it wasn't.
That was the worst time of my life. My lips fell off.
But I mean, I'm just saying, like I've been on mini hikes. I've never really heard. But I wear my own headphones. I'm not hearing other people's music anyway.
But here's the thing: like you're saying, like it's the public space. You don't get to decide, but then the public doesn't get to decide what music.
Right, but this is what I'm saying. I can only control what I do. So if I don't want to hear those things, I'm going to turn my music up, put my headphones in.
So you're going to risk your eardrums and possibly getting tinnitus in 10 years.
What are you risking? Your mental health? Like, listen to how this is affecting your life.
It makes me so angry.
It doesn't. I just don't care. I'm not in the same space long enough to care. Now, if I was stuck with them in an area, like a plane, that would be different. I'd be like, bitch. When people
watch YouTube videos, or even, and I'm sorry to say this, like, because I understand traveling with kids is really hard. My sister has kids. I've been on long plane rides with them. It's a lot. Like, if a baby's crying, I get it. I don't get mad about that. I'm like, their ears hurt. They don't understand. It's never the parent's fault.
Yeah, true.
If you give your child a phone or a tablet, and I'm hearing Coco Melon on full blast, like, fuck you. Like, your child can put earplugs in.
Sure, but the thing is, you're still setting yourself up to be upset when you know you're going to be in a place that's going to... Like, I know an airplane's going to fucking suck. I know it. I don't have the money to make it not suck.
Right.
So I prepare myself to make it the best I can.
I bring headphones too, but it's just the principle of it, where it's like, you think this is your plane, your space. There are a million other people out here that don't want to hear your fucking car rev, that don't want to hear your music blasting out the windows, that don't want to hear your kid watching, like, trucks too. You know what I mean? Like, it just drives me... It really riles me
But there's just as many people who are probably, like, you know, happy. Like, there's probably a bunch of Drew Barrymores that are like, I love the noise. I love your pants.
It's the same people that, like, walk out of a building and stand right in the doorway.
Oh, that's insane. That's nonsense craziness.
I have no patience for people that aren't aware of other people.
Because that's different. Okay, to me, that's different.
No, I think it's all the same.
Standing in front of the doorway, standing in front of escalators, standing in front of elevator, it's different because I cannot change that I have to use this door. It's the only door.
But you cannot change that you're on an airplane.
I know, but I also am prepared for it to suck. I'm not prepared for a doorway to suck. Like, I'm not like, you should know how doors... Like, my thing is, like, when I'm out, like, if someone's listening to music on a beach or whatever, it's whatever to me. Like, it's like, I can't tell you how to exist. Like, I think it's rude...
But they're telling you what kind of music you're going to listen to.
They're just showing me what kind of people they are. How they are does not affect the way that I am.
But it does affect your beach experience. When I'm on the beach with my family...
No, it doesn't. I don't let it affect my beach experience.
But you can't not hear it. Like, I can't not hear...
But what kind of a crazy person would I be to be like, everyone at the beach should be doing exactly what I do at the beach.
Right, but they don't have to do it exactly what you do at the beach, but they don't have to implement their beach experience on everyone else.
But that's based on what annoys you. If they might be the kind of people that are not annoyed by that stuff, so their brain doesn't register that as annoying.
But then go around and be like, hey, does everyone on this beach like the Zac Brown band? Like, guess what? No, we don't. Put your fucking earphones in.
Sure, but it's not a private beach. It's a public beach. You have to deal with other people.
But then we're back to what I was just saying, whereas... It's a public space. I can't expect to control it. It's a public space. You can't expect to inflict your things on everybody else in the public.
The thing, you're the one who's upset. In this scenario, they're not upset with how they're affecting the public.
But that's what I'm mad about.
But what you're mad about is it's very similar to like drinking poison hoping it kills your enemy. It's only hurting you. It's only ruining your beach, your day, your time, your drive.
Right.
It's not affecting them.
Right. But I'm saying that is what the crux of it. The crux of it is when you don't realize that your actions are affecting other people negatively. Like, you are not alone in this world in a vacuum. You have to think of other people and be considerate of other people. And when people like that are doing that, you're not thinking of the people around you. Like, if I were going to sit on the beach and blast Dixie, the Chicks. If I were going to sit on the beach and blast the Chicks, I would think to myself, hey, maybe that like 14-year-old Gen Zer who's never heard of the Chicks doesn't want to fucking hear the Chicks on their vacation. I'm going to put my earphones in. Like, be aware of other people.
But that's based off your morals. I agree with that. I would do what you do. But I've kind of gotten to a place where I'm just like, I just can't be worried about what everybody else is doing.
But it's like the same, you know, in high school when people wore like big backpacks, like huge JanSport backpacks that had like 7 binders and 7 books and like bump into you with their backpack on. It's like, oh, it's not their fault. It's their books and their backpack. It's like, be aware of the space that you're taking up with your backpack. Like on a subway or a bus and you like knock someone over. It's like, yeah, your intent isn't to hurt someone. Your intent isn't to knock someone over. Your intent isn't to be rude. But be aware of what you're doing around other people.
Well, I don't also think their intention is to annoy you either. I think they're just trying to have the best time and it is annoying.
But it doesn't matter.
Do you tell them? Are you like, hey, can you turn that down? I don't like it.
Oh my God, yes. Do I? Yes. I'm like, no, you know what? That's not true. That's giving me more credit. I'm very passive aggressive about it. I'll like say to whoever I'm with, like, hey, don't you fucking hate
But exactly, that's not solving the problem either. That's just adding to it.
Well, then, because I don't care about how other people want to solve the problem. I think, but I want to solve the problem and I want to play my music on the beach.
But that's the truth. You do. That is how you're thinking, which is okay.
No, it's not. I think it's rude. I don't want people to do it. The end.
Yeah. Okay, well, we're done with that. She said, and we're wrapping it up.
And we're done. All right. Well, that is what I'm going to complain about this episode in the first 5 minutes. What do you have?
It was 10. It was 10. You made it 10. No, yeah, that is definitely annoying when people are annoying for sure.
It's not just annoying. It's just being a lack of awareness.
I guess I have a different concept of what's rude and what's a lack of awareness. Not to say that this doesn't count too. It's just like I think it's super rude like when you hold the door for someone and they don't say anything to you.
Oh, well, that's why every time that happens to me, I go, "You're welcome."
Mm-hmm. But it's just like I don't know like who am I teaching a lesson to?
You're right. And that is true. Because I have said on this podcast before, it's not my job to reparent you. But when it's something where I'm just like, fuck you. Like I held the door open for you. You know what I'm saying? It boggles my mind that people wouldn't acknowledge something like that.
I also guess because I interact with a lot more like actively aggressive things, and I know a lot of people that do that. Sometimes little things like that just aren't as big of a deal to me anymore because I'm so used to people being like faggot in a coffee shop or whatever it is, you know, maybe or like. Or having a friend who gets like chased, you know what I mean? Or some other weird comment that I'm just like, mind your own business. That when I think about like, I'm like, listen, if all I have to do is listen to your music, I'll live life.
All right. So now now I feel like a piece of shit. So
well, you know what? Right. This podcast is going great.
Great. Pieces of shit. That's hard. That's the opposite of sweeties.
It's nice to be a piece of shit.
Nice to be, you know what? It's nice to be a piece of shit.
Honestly, sometimes.
You're right. It's a champagne problem. You're right. I don't have to worry about things like that, but where no one has ever called me that.
Yeah, but you're also right. Like it is annoying. I'm not taking that away from you. I just think that like on a scale
of, you know, horribleness, you're right. That's a very champagne problem, and I apologize, but you know what? I'm still going to be bothered by it.
I apologize. They fucking suck.
Yeah.
And I'm all standing in front of an escalator or a door. That one sets me off.
I just don't.
The people that wait at the front of a plane and gather their belongings when the plane lands. You know this motherfucking plane is landing. Other people, that's in a situation. The plane thing is different to me because you have to know. Other people need to get on other flights, get to other places.
Yeah.
A plane it's like a car or a bus. You're not on it for fun. You're going there for a reason.
I'm very pro airlines that will be like, hey, everyone, stay in your seats. There are 7 people on this plane that are 5 minutes from missing a connection. I will sit and wait for 20 extra minutes if that means that someone has to fly off because I've been there too. Yeah. Like that is fine. But when
I'm pro airlines that have 2 doors, 2 entrances and exits. The planes that are big enough that you can go in and out multiple doors.
Yeah, I'm pro private jets.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Drink break.
Never been on a private jet, so I don't know.
I'm joking. I've only been on one for work,
but I
will say that I've only been on one for work. I've never been on one and it was when I worked in New York. I just want to be clear, it wasn't for anyone I worked for here that had a private jet, and it was in New York, and it's amazing how like I've only flown like I've been lucky enough to take airplanes and fly, and but I've only ever flown like coach layover flights, like using miles, like to fly to New York, I'd stop in Missouri and then fly. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's a
but
nightmare.
The one time I took a private plane from then on out, it's amazing how fast you get used to luxury.
So fast.
You're just like, oh wait, I have to be at the airport when someone else is telling me to be at the airport. Like, oh wait, I don't have a lay down seat. It's so like I went on one time, and from then on I was like, no.
Because once you realize things can be easier, you start to wonder why they're so hard for everybody else.
Yeah.
When you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
If all I have to do, because it starts to feel like, so if I was just born into a different life or gifted something different, I would have a better experience.
Another crazy thing is that like, oh fuck, I lost it. God,
that is crazy though.
Yeah, it is crazy that I lost it.
It's crazy that it's crazy the Illuminati plucked that thought out of your head before you could out them.
They did. Oh my god, they did.
Oh my god, conspiracy. We were talking about. We just did a live a minute ago, and people were asking such good questions.
They really were
asking us about. They were asking us a lot about hot topics and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Got the store.
Yeah, which unfortunately, because I could talk about that all day.
I'd never even heard of that store until I met you.
You've never heard of a hot topic?
Never heard of a hot topic
for me, honestly.
Why?
Because what were we like a Banana Republic or a Brooks Brothers?
Have you heard of Spencer's Gifts?
Yes, I've heard of Spencer's Gifts.
All right, Sam Goody.
Sam Goody. Yes.
Oh, all right. Well, I got nothing.
Okay. Anything else? Barnes and Noble, Borders. What else? You ever heard of a Pizza Hut KFC combo?
We're going to make this Pizza Hut a home.
They were asking about Hot Topics, and on the way here, I was talking to you on the phone about the drag laws they're passing, and we were talking about how isn't it so crazy that someone posted a video and they were like, people keep talking about grooming kids for like drag queens and all these things as if you see something in life once and you're like, that's what I am. If that was the case, then I would be. What was the first thing I saw? A cow. Well, I mean, but literally,
I don't like that joke.
Literally, that's like we were talking about that, and then I saw essentially that video. That person was like, "Why does someone talk about Hooters? Not to hate on Hooters. I love Hooters. It's super fun. I used to do makeup on a lot of the girls at Hooters, but it's very interesting that you can bring kids like dressed in full Hooters costumes, and you can put them in Hooters clothes with all the Hooters. There's like there's like pictures of kids like grabbing the Hooters girls' boobs and stuff, and it's like it's so crazy to me that like people that are passing these laws or wanting these laws that are talking about sexuality and stuff are talking about it as if like sexuality exists outside of them and what they are isn't the sexuality, it's just a thing.
But here's the thing, it's not a mystery as to why that's happening, because when it's cis straight couples, it's not considered grooming.
Like all the teachers that got fired for being gay, but then all the other teachers were like having the kids interact in their wedding.
Right. Yeah. So it's not a mystery. Like people are just.
It's just so weird that we can like that we're still debating if this is about children or not. When it's like, first of all, what drag queen do you know that even wants to talk to a fucking kid?
You know what else I was thinking? Like, here's the thing: when you're growing up, like. I mean, the number one thing you start to learn, other than like animal noises and don't talk to strangers, is like your privates are your privates. Like your doctor can see it, your parents can see it. You know, your privates are your privates. You don't show your privates in public. You don't know. And all of this conversation is literally just about other people's private parts. It's
and
like
surgery. It's about like stopping.
Stop fucking talking about anyone's private parts. Like it's so strange to me that as a child it's taboo, but as an adult we're constantly talking about it. It's like, what the fuck do you care?
It's crazy to me that we market it. I feel like it is being marketed. Like, it's like they talk about, like, it's totally fine for you to be like, oh, this 1-month-old baby, such a little heartbreaker. This your little boyfriend. This your little boyfriend.
And I do that too. Like, I'll be like, oh, he's flirting. And now I've realized, like, that's a really gross and weird thing to say.
A lot of people do, like, this is my little boyfriend.
Yeah,
it's like, It's like, okay, like, I understand you're not saying it. I'm not saying you're saying that to be, like, evil, the people that are saying it. I'm not saying they're saying it in a gross way or whatever. I understand it's just like is colloquialism the right word I'm looking for?
Yeah, I think so.
It's just like a thing that happens in a certain place.
Yeah.
So it's like, if that's not the right version, I don't give a fuck. Yeah. I'll figure it out later. But in general, it's like it's happening in these areas, but people are. It's just wild the things that we think are going to affect kids, and then these whole things about when they can and can't start. Like it's crazy for people that aren't doctors and making laws about what doctors should do.
Yeah,
especially when the psychiatric every single major mental and health association says that kids that need to start all you're doing is blocking hormones. If they stop the blocker, you go right through puberty again.
I think people aren't educated about it.
You're going to get surgeries. Kids are getting surgeries. They're only getting surgery if you're not letting them start early.
Right. Oh, that's a really good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just so, the whole thing is so crazy to me, but it was just kind of the same thing with COVID. Like, why are we not listening to doctors? Why are we not listening to people that devoted their lives and took the time and energy and research and devoted, you know what I mean? Like, you don't know what you're talking about.
Because it's easier to go, I'm going to be upset about something. Okay, here's the thing. It's the same thing with like animal stuff, like a lot of animal laws, people will be like, hey, it's bad to hold baby tigers. We all know. Like, we know.
Right.
Like we see at this point, we all know that.
Right.
But people that have done it don't want to admit it's bad because then it villainizes them.
Right.
Instead of just being like, I didn't know it was bad. That's fine to say you didn't know it was bad.
Yeah.
I rode an elephant at the circus when I was little.
Yeah.
I didn't know the circus was bad. No one told me. And then when I found out, I was like, that sucks. I'm going to do it again. And I didn't. But it's like, I think it's easier to go like, I'm just going to make this disappear. And the wording around what they're saying is so crazy. Eradicate means to make something as if it never existed.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that
those are extremists, obviously.
I do think that there is also, and I'm not going to talk about cancel culture because PTSD, but there is something like about, for certain things, allowing grace. Like saying like, hey, I didn't know that riding an elephant or riding a tiger or whatever was wrong. You can only
learn if you learn.
Right. You know, like with the Maya Angelou quote that is so good, which is like once you know better, do better, which I think is like a fair, but people are so afraid of being, for lack of a better word, like canceled, that they double down on what's wrong.
Cancel culture that I've always thought.
Yeah.
cancel culture never affects the person that is being canceled. It only affects the people under them. So like, it's like a lot of think about the comics, you know, from the stories we've heard about, like this happened in the green room. And like the famous person that did those things
still
is doing fine. Whether we know about it or not, they still have their money. They're still active. They're still doing whatever they want.
Yeah.
The only people that have never worked again were those openers, those people that were affected by it. You know, the people that are, if you're sexually harassed as an assistant, your boss doesn't lose their job and all their money.
Right, you lose your job. Yeah,
you just become this person who's
a pariah.
You're like
a whistleblower.
a whistleblower. It's like it only really affects the people who are doing it, which is so annoying. Why people that are on the internet so critical of like cancel culture, which is, you know, it's really smart of people that are against cancel culture to twist it into making it about freedom of speech when that's not what it is. Everyone that is being canceled 9 times out of 10 has done something to deserve not you're not being canceled as a person. We're just saying you've done something wrong. You shouldn't be allowed to make millions of dollars because of it.
Right.
That's a fair statement. It's not saying you can't ever change or come back or do better.
Right.
It's saying like you're obviously not getting the point and we're done supporting it.
Right. Money talks.
People on the internet that aren't even a part of that 1%, that people that can be affected by are so gung-ho to defend people that they don't know. And especially when it comes to comedians. And I think that's because when you make someone laugh, it's a really you can't really fake laugh.
Right.
If I make you laugh, and if not, you can pretend to laugh, but you're not gonna have the same feeling.
Right.
But when someone makes you laugh, you're like, oh, I want that again. I want that from that person.
Or I endorsed that. Or
it makes me feel good. Like everyone feels
like I co-signed to that.
Those feelings when you're really thinking something is funny, you cannot hide the true emotion. You can't hide how joyful. Everyone wants to feel joyful.
And
life sucks.
And if you laugh at a joke that's not PC, right? Like you can, if your gut reaction is to laugh, then you can be like, oh my God,
I'm talking about the joke. That's fine to me. I'm talking about like when people are being like canceled and we're like, but they're so funny, or they're such a good actor, or they're such this. And it's like, right. But you're confusing what you enjoy with reality. You're enjoying, you can still enjoy all those things. But that does not change the fact that this is still a bad thing that happened. Right. You are allowed, like, it's this weird narrative that like now if you, no, that's not what I'm trying to say. But you know what I'm saying? Like it very much comes off as like we want the person that made us feel joy to keep making us feel joy. We don't want them to disappear.
Interesting.
So we really rally around like being like, well, it's fine. Well, they didn't mean it like that, or it's totally fine. Because we want to keep, because we have so few comforts as like not rich famous people.
Yeah.
That you want to hold on to the things that you enjoy. You want your TV show to stay on the air. You want your favorite musician.
I've never thought about it like that. I was thinking about it more on the side of like, if someone says something that is not, you know, that's dicey, like that can be offensive, like, and you laugh at it because laughter is such like, you're right. You're not processing like what, and when I laugh, if I laugh at something that is not great, then it's like, I'm co-signing something horrible, and then I feel guilty, and then I want that person gone. You know what I'm saying?
We
like,
have to also
I'm banishing something that made me feel bad about myself, so I'm like, fuck that.
It's just like if we all lived in a village, you'd be like, this person's bad. I don't want to be associated with it. I don't want to be thought of bad either.
Right.
But here's the thing: it's like, but the whole joke telling thing is like, tell a joke. Like, if you go to a comedy club, we are kind of agreeing this is like not the real world. This is all fake. I think.
Yeah.
But if you're like on podcasts and TVs and Twitter and you're constantly doing the same crazy shit, it feels like not a joke anymore. It's very different.
Because then you're
co-signing
things.
that will probably make you feel like that. I think if you laugh at a joke in like a comedy theater or a comedy show, that's different. We've all agreed. We've made you bought tickets. This person's getting paid. There's a pact that this is for fun.
And it's also like on, you know, sometimes I think like, okay, well then I don't support, like, it's not that I want to cancel that person or have that person like, you know, hung in the gallows. It's just like, I'm not going to give that person my money anymore. Do you know what I mean?
I'm a big proponent of like, if someone is not doing something that you morally agree with,
don't
stop
buy
supporting
it. Yeah.
Stop
like,
doing
I remember, you know, that country singer Morgan Wallen? Like, I like country music. Kill me. I'm sorry. And I used to really like him. And then you told me that he's racist and that he but then you told me he doubled down on it. And
that's what my understanding. But there's a lot of people that feel differently.
True. I don't know.
There's a ton of people that no matter what he said or like he made a mistake, he did this, and you know what? It's my whole thing is like I don't know that story back to front. I just know what I told you basically. But you know, even if he did slip up and say this racist comment, it is very strange to me to not be like, let me go off and process this and really come back with an apology. Right. It's weird to be like, I didn't mean it. I didn't. Like, you can say sorry. Sometimes it's okay to just be like, I was wrong. Yeah,
but then I'm like, okay, well, I don't need him crucified. I'm just not gonna give any more money to him.
Exactly.
Do you know
exactly. That's how I feel. No one is really being like hung out to dry when they're quote unquote canceled. They're just shifting. They still have all their shitty fans. All the people that think that stuff's cool. great.
Yeah.
You get to
and
go
it's
keep
also
it.
like your money talks. Like you have the power to say like, okay, I'm not supporting that anymore. It doesn't mean I'm going to kill him. It just means I'm going to like not.
It's the same way whenever you like something. If you like female, I don't mean like generalize that, like they're just comedians, but if you like female comedians, female directed movies, if you like queer movies, you have to go out and watch them. You have to go buy the tickets
to actively
and go.
support
you
it.
can't just want there to be more of it. You have to actually go out and because businesses don't run off of emotion. They run off of money.
And yeah, and that's what's cool. Like, because I did see on Amazon the other day, this was like women-owned business, Black-owned business, queer-owned business. Like, that's awesome. Because if I'm looking at two things and I'm like, hey, I could buy this dresser from this business or this business. Do I want to buy it from like a giant corporation that's not paying taxes? Or do I want to buy it from a shop that's owned by like a Black woman who, you know what I mean? Like it just means
And I'm
more.
not saying that like businesses are also smart. They know how to market things where it seems like they're doing one thing and they're really not. But like you have to be aware of things too. You have to like put in, be
aware of where you're spending your money.
But it is better. It's good to know the options because the thing is like a lot of us, especially maybe not nowadays as much, I'm sure for sure. But when I grew up, I just assumed everything was like owned by the same type of person. Like I just thought magazines all looked the same to me. I saw the same type of people in all of them. I was just like, you're a lady on QVC or you don't own anything. Like that's just how my brain worked. I didn't know that, and then you start to learn things or you think that like things that are, it also pigeonholes you whenever you don't know things. It makes you feel like, oh, well, as a queer person, I can only make like flamboyant, crazy, iconic clothing, or like as a Black person, I have to talk with this cadence.
Right.
As a white, even as like a basic white girl, like they're like coerced into thinking like I need to really lean into that. When the truth is like people are multiple things. People are layers of things. Yeah. It's really psychotic that we all feel, but it's easier to make money when you become one thing.
Right. And it's easier to market and it's, for sure.
And I think that's a real big downside to entertainment is that things get so pigeonholed, you become one thing. Yeah. And then a lot of times people have to kind of keep their personas up, good or bad, whether they're a bad persona or not, because that's how you make your livelihood. Yeah. And your fans don't want to hear you go, hey, I said a shitty thing.
Or I'm redirecting. Or
because your fans matter. The fans you build do matter. That's why Beyonce and Lizzo and them are able to be like, you know what? I learned this word was bad. I'm going to take it out of my song.
Yeah, because Lizzo did that.
And everyone just said, okay. Yeah. Like they both did it. Everyone was just like, that sucked. We don't like that you did it. They said, we're sorry. We changed it. And their fans go, great, you learned. Yeah. But like, if their fans are the kind of people that became an issue and then their fans were like, don't you dare change it. Like, they're not going to change it because those are the people that are buying their albums.
God, yeah.
And it's like, so that does matter. It definitely matters. And you should go out and you should support things that you want to see more of. Right. I mean, I try to do that. Like, I try to really, like, pay attention to, like, why I'm buying something and what I'm buying.
Where it's going.
There are some things, like, obviously you just, like, it's trendy or whatever you want to see. I understand that, too. We're all people. Yeah. But in general, it is nice because you just don't know. You don't know if something is, like, marketed to you as like a super feminine product and then some old man who's like voting against your rights is the one getting the money from it. Like because you don't see that stuff. It's all, you only see the you only see their best stuff, their Instagram page. You know what I mean? Like
and it's also like I really like pizza. The head of is it Domino's or Papa John's who's like I'm pro-choice.
Oh, I think it's Papa John's.
And that the owner of one of those and maybe I should just stop talking, but I do like pizza and the end.
Cool. Yeah. I love that you love pizza. Like, what do you like the most about it? The toppings or the crust?
Just like everything about it.
I like a stuffed crust pizza because it's full of problems.
I've never had a stuffed crust pizza till recently, and I had it and I really like it. The crust is
a deep dish.
The crust is its own. The crust is a meal in and of itself. Like you could save the crust for the next day and have a whole. It's like a whole meal.
You ever seen the hot dog wrapped in a pizza put in a hamburger?
No. Have you ever heard of a turducken?
Yes.
Oh, all right. Have you ever heard of that?
I am a turducken.
Oh my God. Have you ever heard of that really fancy bird? It's like a French. It's like a French songbird that.
Yeah, I was right.
No, that in really it's illegal to do it, but in really fancy restaurants they find this bird that's almost extinct, and it's like a tiny little songbird, and they raise it, just be feeding it constant like millet and grain, kind of like the same way they do like for geese and pate. Like they only serve it this one thing to like make it optimal for consumption for humans, and they keep it in the dark all the time, and then they fry it, and then you eat it whole. You literally
trigger warning.
Okay, sorry. So and you put a napkin over your head while you eat it.
Oh yes, I've seen this. Okay. It's like a shameful thing to eat.
Yeah, it's either a shameful thing or
like a religious thing.
No, it's a shame. They say that people cover their faces, one, because it's shameful, or two, because it's so euphoric that you're hiding your like orgasmic reaction. And I read a thing a chef wrote. I think it was Anthony Bourdain or it was someone that.
Are there any other chefs? I don't even know any.
Mario Batali, who signs his emails. Meatball.
We have to talk about. Remember when we were at the studio where they filmed Rachel Ray, and that.
No.
When we were at Wendy Williams, and then above it was Rachel Ray, and we were waiting in the lobby, and we were like trying to write our jokes, and that I've never heard an audience that was so fucking pumped.
Oh, for Rachel Ray.
Do you remember they were screaming? It was like from 4 flights down. We were hearing them yelling. It was crazy.
Now here's my hang up.
Anyways, wait, what were you saying with the bird?
I don't know why I got on this, but you eat it and you eat the whole fucking thing, like
a piece of sushi.
And it talks about like the brain and the skull, like you eat the bones, and it's just
they're hollow.
Crazy to me. But
I think it's weird to have the whole ceremony of that, like raising an animal to eat its soul.
Yeah,
like it's very I don't know. I mean, it's like a cultural thing. Like that's
but I saw it on.
It's illegal.
Yeah, because it's banned now. But I saw it on Succession.
That's a very Hansel and Gretel, like when you keep kids and fatten them up.
Yes.
Also,
but at least the kids are getting to eat candy.
First of all, I'm gonna start putting a napkin on my head for everything. When I eat hot Cheetos, I'm gonna have a napkin over my head. Like when people are like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "The shame."
Yeah, no, you should be like, "It's too good. I don't want you to see my old face."
My euphoria. Like, who's eating a bird? Being like, it's very Catwoman on Batman Returns when she grabs that bird and puts it in her mouth and it flies out.
Oh God.
You know what? I would probably if my brain told me it was gonna be like that, I'd be like, "Where's the fucking bird?"
Oh no, I don't think I could do it.
Balut.
I don't think I could eat it. No, what's that?
Balut is that like it's like Filipino maybe or something like that, and it's a really like it's like the embryo of a chicken that's not hatched yet, but it's still in the egg and it's dead, and you eat it. You crack it open.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not familiar with that.
You eat the dead chicken or the living or the fetus chicken.
Oh, okay. So different than an egg from like the grocery store that has not been fertilized.
Because the chicken's formed. It's like a chicken.
Oh, like
but it's still it's like if you ate a fetus.
Oh. Okay.
Because it is that, exactly. And they crack the little top off and you eat it. And I can't tell if it's like a joke thing they do. Like for tourists, I've heard that. Like it's just like a thing. But then also I've heard people be like, no, it's delicious.
Oh, I wonder what it tastes like.
Well, I don't think I would like it.
I don't.
I think Bobby Lee and Santino ate one on their podcast.
Oh, really?
And I watched it and I was like, whoa.
We don't have the money for that. We can't get those kind of eggs.
I think they're like just a couple cents. But we ain't going to do that.
Oh.
I don't even know where to get the egg.
I don't even know how you fertilize. Like, okay, so the eggs that we get from the grocery store aren't fertilized, right?
Sometimes I'm sure they are.
How do you fertilize an egg?
Chickens fuck.
I actually saw chickens fuck in Hawaii once. A lot. But then how do they know the egg that we're eating is not fertilized?
It doesn't matter if it's fertilized. You're cracking it before there's anything in it. It doesn't matter.
You know, but chickens lay eggs even when they haven't been fucked.
Those are periods.
Oh. I'm learning a lot about fowl.
I had a lot of chickens.
Oh, that's right. That's right. What are
peacocks?
Oh, guinea fowls?
Yeah, and peacocks. We had peacocks, but they kept killing themselves. It was crazy.
That's sad.
They kept eating rocks and staples and like pecking each other to death. And I don't know why. They had a great life.
Oh.
I'm assuming.
I heard a story. Someone I knew had a farm and had peacocks on it, and the peacocks would constantly peck and dent the cars because they'd see their reflection in the car and then want to fight and then destroy their car.
Also, if one peacock gets sick or something or like eats something weird like they were doing, the other ones would peck it to death because it was like a weakling.
God, peacocks
but they're so pretty.
Well, not the females. The females are just brown and boring.
No, they're so blue. They just don't have big tails.
No,
we had a white peacock too.
The females are like mouse colored. They're like just look like regular boring birds.
Like a little jade bird. It was like a little jade.
Oh
color.
Yeah, it's unfair that like the male is always the like.
Well, it's because they're using it to attract the female.
Yeah, which isn't like good for our brand. You know what I mean?
To be fair, most of the time in animal culture, the male dies after sex. The other woman eats it.
Yummy.
Like it's so funny to me for the spiders and stuff. We're like, hey baby, look at me, baby.
Praying mantises.
And then all of a sudden they're like, oh yeah, and they just bite your fucking head off.
Why do they do that? Because they don't want you to be with anyone else.
Because they're just like, you're useless now, you piece of shit.
Oh, well, that's not good.
And then they put on stripper heels and they walked like pretty girls walk like this. That's what they do.
Have you ever heard of Disney bounding? Okay, that song made me think of it because I saw this.
Disney bounding?
Disney
that
bounding.
Sounds like a sex thing.
No, it's not. So I started. I saw on this Instagram, which I've talked about before. It's called My Cringe, and it's just like cringy things on Instagram, which I really didn't even know. Like, there's no better adjective for what this page is. Like, you physically cringe at some of these posts that people do, and one of them was this woman who it's like all the pretty girls walk like this, and it's like her and 8 friends. They're walking in like a pyramid formation, and they're all dressed as Disney princesses, but like not Disney princesses, like, but it's the color scheme of a Disney princess or like the hairstyle of a Disney princess. So I went into a real rabbit hole on this woman. And apparently it's called Disney bounding, where it's when you dress like a Disney character inspired by a Disney character, not the actual outfit.
Yeah, everything can be an inspiration.
She goes to Disney like a million times a year. And
what's the bounding? What does bounding mean?
This is called, that's what it's
called.
What
does it mean?
I don't know.
What is that word?
I don't know. I was asking you.
Can we look it up?
Yeah, I mean, I've tried looking it up. It just
the
doesn't
word
make
bounding.
Yeah, well, like
it sounds like bonded, right?
Okay, but
bonding.
there's no. I mean, I don't know if she made it up, but there's like there's like a subset.
Wait, she's a person.
Yeah, this woman. Okay, what does Disney bounding mean? Disney bounding is a method of styling that takes inspiration from a specific Disney character. It's cosplay without the costume. So then what is it?
So it's just clothes. You're just wearing clothes inspired by something. That's how everybody gets dressed.
Disney bounding uses everyday pieces like dresses, shirts, hats, and pants in different colors and patterns to resemble Disney characters like Mickey Mouse, Bo Peep, and Stitch.
Everyone does that. That's just like a Gothic. People take inspiration from Gothic thing. Like,
but it's just wild to me because why is it called Disney bound?
Yeah,
like,
I don't
what's
understand.
the etymology
like
of the bounding?
To Disney?
Anyway, find this person. It's Dear and Darling or something on Instagram, and she has like 7 kids, and I don't even think they live.
They bound?
Oh. And they have a million Disney backpacks. Like
I don't like that.
I'm gonna send this to you. It's fascinating.
I don't like that. I mean, I like when people have hobbies, but that feels like
this is not a hobby. And also, here's the other thing I know about it that makes me judge it, which I judge everything. Is Disney is so fucking expensive. Like, okay, first of all, she has 7 kids.
I bet she gets magic mail.
And she's constantly going to Disney. Like, she doesn't even live in Anaheim. She goes to Disneyland constantly. And I'm like, these kids need to, like,
are you doxing this bitch? She doesn't even live in Anaheim, motherfucker.
No, she doesn't live there.
She's in Oklahoma.
Like, I'm gonna send this lady to you because it just fascinates me. Like it just.
Ew, is that her husband?
That's her husband, and she makes her husband Disney bound, and they have a million of these.
This is one of those TikTok for your like mental illness, isn't it?
They have like a million of these backpacks, these like tiny leather backpacks.
Oh yeah, I've seen a lot of those.
It's just like, but
those lounge fly backpacks.
They have to be so expensive. I'm just like, stop. I hope you're investing in real estate, like
at Disney, the castle,
anywhere.
I also found a weird subgenre, but I kind of like it.
What is it?
In Japan, there's this subgenre. I can't remember the name. It's like I can't really pronounce it.
Japan, the men that never leave their houses and stay inside.
No, it's these people that because of like the male oppression, I guess.
Oh, okay.
From what I gather, this is what my understanding. I could be wrong. And I can't remember the name of it because I can't pronounce it. But because of like the male oppression that women and queer people feel, I guess in Japan, this artist made these like silicone realistic masks that look like cyclopses. That they look like cyclops faces.
Oh, I'm scared of cyclops.
And but they're like cutesy bootsy ones, and they wear them like in real life with like very very nice like high fashion. I'm gonna show you like very high fashion outfits.
Oh, okay.
And it's like but the commitment to this. It's like, look at that.
Oh, it's like furries, but a cyclops.
But like their clothes are like but there's men and women and like.
So sorry. So I understand them.
And they all have different makeup and like custom shapes.
I understand the motive, but what's the messaging?
Let's see. What is it called?
Japanese subculture where people wear cyclops face masks.
It's called Tangamen.
Tangamen. Okay, so what are they communicating by the cyclops? Like, is there a like I wonder what it's representing. Like,
it's something about the gaze. Like it's something about like male gaze or male oppression or something. That's what this thing says.
Okay. But are men and women doing it?
The thing about Japan, it's so interesting. Yes, but usually it's like feminist men or queer or whatever. Okay. But from my understanding, but I love that Japan is one of those places where like there's such an I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's accepted. I don't live there, but there's such a vast variety of like subculture. There's like gothic Lolitas and baby Lolitas, and there's
what is that?
Lolitas is that style where you dress like in really frilly, like fluffy, like almost like what a porcelain doll would wear.
Oh, okay.
But some of them are like horror themed and they're bloody. Some are sweet and like cutesy. Some are like gothic. Some are
is that all considered cosplay?
No, it's just like a lifestyle thing.
Oh, okay.
Some people don't like it because like the word Lolita, it means something creepy and gross, and they do mimic dolls, but it's not a sexual thing.
Oh, okay.
And then there's like what are the other one, the Gungro girls, which are the ones that do like. I think they're basing. One's a little iffy too, but I think they're basing their look off of like a tan anime character that may or may not be black, and they like extremely tan. They tan their skin to the point of like where it looks like a burnt chicken skin. And then they wear like white under eye makeup. You should look them up. They have like crazy hair that's all choppy.
Okay, wait, what is the word?
Ganguros. It's Ganguros.
Okay.
Like this is them, and they wear this look.
They look like Tan Mom. Remember that SNL sketch?
They look like Trisha Paytas.
Oh,
kind of, but like but there's so many subcultures of fashion in Japan, and it's just like it's so interesting to me that like there's such a for a place that, from my understanding, has like a lot of like rules about culture and there's so many like just like people that just walk around like this is how people just dress. They're just dressed in these like what we would in America would be like you're wearing a costume.
Right.
Like we don't really have this. I don't think like if we see someone that's just dressed like too punk, we're like whoa,
right.
Why do you have a mohawk? But it's like there's just so many of these like different cultures, and they're all based off younger people pretty much trying to find a way to do something different.
Oh, that's cool. I guess is that a result? Is there like a uniformity?
Well, there's Harajuku, the place that Gwen Stefani pretended like with a style. Harajuku is like that area in Japan where like they all these different kind of cultures kind of gather, I guess. I just think that's really interesting. But it reminded me of your much scarier thing. I would much rather people wear Cyclops masks than I would them be dressed as
Disney bound.
Honestly, I'm gonna say something kind of rude. It's
do
like,
it.
It's very like bargain bin Disney. Like just buy the costume. Like why are you trying to like mix and match your Rue 21 Cinderella outfit?
It's so.
Just buy the fucking costume.
I'd never heard of it.
Or buy nicer clothes. Buy clothes that are better than Cinderella. She has one fucking outfit, and we've seen it 100 times.
Yeah.
You could be so much cooler than Cinderella.
Also,
her color palette.
Yeah. I mean, I know people love Disney, but I don't get Disney. It's never appealed to me.
I mean, I like Disney too, but I'm not.
I don't like it.
I don't have the love for it that like Disney adults and stuff.
Yeah,
I dated
You
dated a Disney adult.
I dated a Disney adult.
You should tell me right now.
I didn't realize
I'm
that.
So angry.
I didn't realize he was a Disney adult, but
until he started going when he comes. He's goofy.
He was super. This was a while I dated him a long time ago, but he. Just loved Disney and like would want to go to. There's this thing at Disney called Dapper Day, where like I guess you dress like in dapper.
Like it's old English like dapper. Like well, men are dapper, women are
and I
wore like pocket watches.
I remember thinking like this is a fundamental thing we will never move past. Do you know what I'm saying? Like this
you ever
is
seen
like
Disney sex toys? Did you have any of those?
No, that is so
at a sex
insane.
store. One time I saw a butt plug that looked like a Mickey Mouse.
That can't be endorsed by Disney. Disney
I'm sure it's not, but anyone can make a mouse shape.
Yeah, but Disney's so like...
I don't know. Disney may be endorsed.
Disney's Disney's so crazy and protective of their brand.
Look up Disney sex toys. Let's see. I bet you Disney has a sex toy.
I bet it's not Disney endorsed. It's probably Disney
inspired. It doesn't matter.
It's
Disney adults don't care.
Disney bounding sex toys.
Bounding is such a stupid name.
It's so weird. It's
watch it. People are like, oh, it actually means this, and now we sound
Disney
stupid.
princess themed vibrator exists.
See, look, even they're shocked. Oh, it's gonna be fucking Frozen, isn't it?
I mean,
oh no.
Can you feel? Well, they're not. They're just showing.
Okay. Well, now they're making jokes.
Now they're okay. Yeah, I don't know.
Click on images. Girl.
About Disney selling sex toys and stuff.
See, Disney selling sex toys and stuff.
Oh, but that's not. That is just like that's not actually a vibrator. It's probably
what
just
is
like.
It?
It's probably a Disney toy.
It do look like a vibrator.
But it looks like a bullet. It doesn't look like a vibrator.
What in Frozen would look like that?
I don't know.
Anyways, the thing is, like Disney adults, it's like I can't ever tell if the pleasure is like just like a joyous kid-like pleasure,
or something twisted,
or if it's something deeper, or if it's like this, like that. Because a lot of times when you like something, whether it be cars or chess. That will trickle over into your love life if you're
real into it. Yeah.
If that's your lifeblood, if that's your personality.
I do get fascinated by like those BuzzFeed articles about like former Disney princess, spills secrets. Apparently it's like such a crazy hierarchy there. Like
my friend worked there.
They have like a separate word for the people that wear like masks, like the Goofies and the minis. They're like lower on the scale than like the Jasmines and the Cinderellas, and they all have to practice and have the same exact handwriting because they don't want a kid to like get a Cinderella signature on a Monday and then that girl's off on Thursday, so the different Cinderella signs it differently. Like they have to have all of the same signature. There's like
they also are based on looks. They're like you have to be like certain height, it's very specific. It's kind of
crazy.
You know what else is like that? I had a friend that what Twin Peaks is?
Yeah, the show?
No, Twin Peaks, the restaurant it's like a Hooters but more like sexy kind of.
Oh no.
Well,
wasn't that a TV show?
Yeah, probably that too. But Twin Peaks is about boobs, two peaks.
Oh.
But I think they're like in the South, and like there's nothing wrong with them. Like I had multiple friends that work there, but they would tell me that I don't know if this is everywhere. I don't want to say that or whatever.
Right.
But allegedly,
everything we say is allegedly.
Allegedly, she said that the managers at this location would have them like line up and would be like, and they would line up from who was the prettiest that day to not the prettiest, and they would send people home like, you have a pimple, go home, or your shirt needs to be lower.
That can't be legal, right?
Well, I don't know. I mean, they have lingerie day where they serve you food in lingerie with kids everywhere, by the way.
And we're back. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. It's like, God, this.
But to be fair, I think that you should be allowed to walk around in lingerie and serve French fries for money. I think that's fine. I just think that it's super. I think
it's not fair.
You know what's funny about those places, and I know a lot of my girlfriends that have worked there, like they said the same thing. It's so wild to me that men go in those places thinking those women actually like them. Like, well, hey, baby, hey, it's like
that's
she's like.
It's the same thing with
she's so nice to me. That's how she gets tips.
Right. Like, what do you think is going to happen? Like, she thinks you're weird. That's what she thinks.
Yeah. You're a 91-year-old trucker.
Yeah.
Who hasn't taken a bath all week.
I don't mind. I hate taking baths.
You think this woman's gonna pull down her leg-colored pants?
That's what her leg-colored. That's what I feel about dick pics. Like whenever you send a dick pic to like a stranger, like if I ever get a dick pic in my Instagram,
can I show you how many dick pics I've gotten recently? Yeah.
If I ever get a dick pic in my Instagram, I'm like, what do you think's gonna happen? Do you think I'm gonna see that dick pic?
I put them in a folder.
Do you think I'm gonna see that dick pic?
These are all dick pics.
Do you think I'm gonna see that dick pic and I'm gonna say, that's him? That's the one I'm gonna leave the guy I love for. I'm looking at your dick and I'm thinking, I'm blowing up my life. I'm going to Seattle, and I'm gonna be with you.
They do
like,
think
what
that.
do you think? Let me see some of these. I do find it fascinating.
I'm gonna show you this.
Do you ever get a dick pic that's not circumcised?
All the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and not only dick pics. I get let me read you these are some of the messages that I got recently.
Oh my God, this is wild. I remember I was in the car coming home from the airport with my dad, and I was going through my Instagram and I got a hidden message that was a dick pic, and I screamed out loud because it was like the first one I ever got. And my dad was like, what the fuck? And I was like, oh my God, Dad, I can't tell you. And he was like, what? And I was like, oh, someone just sent me, a dick pic. And he was like furious. He was like, that should be illegal. Like if someone flashes you on the street, it's illegal. Why is it not illegal to force my eyes onto your picture?
Yeah, it is sucky. But I mean, also like whatever. But hang on. Oh, I had one. I'll read you this one. But I had one that said, so like obviously like I don't always like this when I present on there, but it's like this person was like, this was what the message said.
Okay.
Hey, bro, you look like you have a pussy. Do you have a pussy, bro, or what?
Who was it? Like
I don't know the person. They're strangers.
But do you look at their profile to be like?
There's nothing on it.
It's just most
of the time where it's like a body or a torso or like the side of a shoulder or something crazy. One of them, this one, who I've never responded to, by the way, wrote, hey, gorgeous baby girl, how's your busy day? And then sent a video where they said, you just really need to get fucked or get off here. And I'm like, this is crazy. Can I give you head?
Oh my God.
This one, see, I'm just curious if you have a pussy because it kind of looks like it. Based on what? Also thanks, but like also what the fuck? But that was crazy. Hang on, where are the other ones?
Wild. I just want everyone that sends unsolicited dick pics to know that all we do is laugh at them.
This person, whose name was Very Horny, wrote, can I ask you why you're not interested in me? Because for like a month I didn't respond. And I said, sure. Your name is Very Horny, which is not cool. Or no, I said, your name is Very Horny, which I am not. You also have no face photo, and it says that you're a bottom. What are we going to do with that? None of that is bad or wrong. I'm just saying, wishing you the best, smiley face.
Smiley face.
And then they wrote, can I pay you?
For what?
But I don't know.
I mean, maybe they're hiring.
This person said, look, am I too thug for you? I'd pay to eat it.
People are
It's crazy.
Wild.
It's like the craziest thing. And then,
but for us, okay, legitimate question. Is us doing this kink shaming?
I don't think that's a kink. I don't think it's not a kink for me. My kink is harassing people.
That's true because you're putting into my
like I don't. Let me be very clear. I am aware of this area, and I'm like, I understand. I don't feel harassed by it.
Okay, I would. I'm
not saying other people don't, and I'm not saying I never have.
Right.
I'm saying the ones I'm screenshotting. Obviously, in my head, I'm like, I'm gonna show this Emily, and it's so fucking funny.
Right.
Because like I have no interaction with that.
Yeah.
I'm beyond that.
And also Very Horny, we're making fun of you. Like, don't.
And like
do
people's
that
names
anymore.
are like needs head ? Is that a question or a statement?
Here's the thing.
The dick pics.
Am I weird or are they weird? Like, am I just
I don't think it's about being weird. There are, you know what? It's a numbers game. There's somebody they're sitting that out to, and it's working. It's just, you got to get them out there. You don't know.
I just don't understand the logistics of it. Like, okay, so say you said, sure, then what?
Then you just show up at their place and you have sex and leave. Or vice versa. Okay, look at this. Are you ready for this? This is going to be a dick pic, but I need to show you the room around it.
Oh, God.
What's going on in this room?
I do like the settings.
What is going on in this room? First of all, that is a nice penis. Like, sure.
Ew.
But, like, look how dirty. And then wait for this. Zoom in. Zoom in on that toe.
You guys. This
toenail. A penis. And I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to, like,
is that a bong?
There's trash, a bong.
A red Solo cup?
There's moldy, like, oatmeal in one of the pictures. Don't swipe too far.
Why?
Because who knows what's on there. And then, but this person obviously does have a nice penis. It's like the only thing nice they have.
I don't like that.
I'm just saying, what is like, if you liked penises, that would be like fine. It's like whatever. But like, what the fuck do you think is going to happen? Imagine, I just want you to picture in your head me getting this picture and then going along with it and showing up to this apartment.
And what are they watching?
Baseball cards.
What are they watching? What are they watching? A jellyfish? Are those baseball cards? Or are they like they're like Pokemon cards?
They're football cards or something.
Okay, and then there's jellyfish on the TV, and then there's an
Eiffel Tower in the background.
There's a toenail that is longer than any.
It's longer than my nails.
It's longer than the nail. Benton's nails are really long right now.
There's trash on the floor, and the bed, the white sheets are yellow. And I'm not trying to listen. I don't
do better.
I understand. Like maybe you have a disability, maybe there's something you can't clean. But like you had time to spread eagle like this and take this photo, but you can't get up and tidy up the background. And then you want. It's almost like disrespectful. I'm not saying I'm too good for anything or nothing.
No, yeah, you are.
But could you imagine me getting ready for a date and then walking into this apartment?
Yeah.
This is what it is.
I can't. Okay,
wait,
like
hang on. I'm going to show you another one.
No, I don't want. My eyes are hurting. I don't like it.
But it's not just gross people. Sometimes it's like attractive people that do it too.
I just don't.
It's just like the go-to. That's the first message. There's not even a message before that.
You think is going to happen? I just don't get it.
Hang on. I have to show you this.
Please no more.
Well, this is not. This is the kind of bios that people have. I'm going to read you this bio.
God. What's so wild is that one of these people might be someone you see at the bank or like.
Yeah, I mean, people are allowed to be sexual. I have no problem with that.
Your Geico insurance adjuster, but there's a difference between being sexual and like doing that.
True. Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
This is this person's bio.
Oh my God.
Hosting currently in search of a quality trans woman who is a head doctor to make my cum-filled balls explode with warm life force. I mean, sign everyone up.
They should be arrested and kicked off whatever platform that is.
It's insane. It's like also the amount of times that people run, like the amount out of the gate when people are like, oh, here, look, this is the one.
No, I can't look anymore.
I was like, hey, like, stop. This is not real.
Yeah.
And this person sent me picture of cash. And then this person, hey, you look like you bite. Like, is that how we're interacting?
What are people talking about?
It's truly insane. And then like people will be like, I don't understand. Like, have you been on a dating app? They're crazy places.
I mean, I was on dating apps for a minute and I didn't experience anything like that.
It's probably, I mean, it's also different because I'm sure, what were you on, like Tinder and stuff?
Hinge.
Well, Hinge and stuff has a lot more rules that are like,
yeah.
But like a lot of the times for LGBTQ people, you have to go to kind of the other ones because they're not on the other pages. So you have to like
navigate.
Sometimes you have to jump in the darkness and then you just hope you flounder around. But it's like,
but can you like report people for that?
You could, but that's all you'd be doing. I mean, I showed you like this.
I devote my life to it.
I mean, I can tell you right now, I've had it for a month. I've had this thing for a month, and I have 428 messages that are like that. They're all just like or like.
That's that's just such a bummer.
It's just, I mean, it's like, I get it. You're horny and that's, what you do or whatever. And it's like.
Oh, but you're going about it the wrong way.
You really are going about the wrong way. I was like, you don't even know. You didn't even, like, it's so weird. Sometimes I'll be like, you didn't even ask, like, my name.
Yeah.
And literally the response back will be like, I don't need to know your name. A lot of people are looking for you just to be like, and this is, I'm not king shaming this, do whatever you want. But a lot of people are like, want you to just be like, anonymous, like just be in a hotel room.
Right.
And then them just show up and like never see you or anything.
Yeah.
And like, which is different.
So romantic.
As well.
Yeah.
But there's not about that. Or like this. This person said hi, and I said hi, and they said
started out great.
I have wine. Would you like to suck my dick? And I said, I have wine too.
Oh, Benton, get off that. There's another way. There has to be.
But it's cute though. It's fun.
No, I don't like that.
This is funny. I love sharing this shit. It's so funny.
No, it's funny to share.
I've been posting it on Instagram.
But it would make my, I can't. I'd call the FBI. All right. Do we have to wrap up?
Not yet. We have a little bit longer.
I gotta go babysit.
Oh my God, you're babysitting.
I am. I'm babysitting
We've talked
a
about
baby.
that a lot. Okay,
no, not on this. We just talked about it on.
Yeah, I know.
We did an Instagram live, which we.
Okay, well.
Yeah.
We need
Okay.
a little bit more because I don't think people are ready to go yet, and I do want to end this. Oh my God, I thought you were snorting something.
Oh
you
no,
were
I was
taking
a vape.
There was something someone asked on the thing I wanted to answer.
Oh no, we do want to talk about. Are there any hot topics you'd like to discuss? Like hot.
I already brought up drag queens.
Okay.
So I feel like that was mine.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Oh, and I need to carry more weight. So do I have a hot topic? I'm ignoring jokes like that from you.
Oh, Emily's going to the gym with me.
No, I'm not. Oh yes, I am. I am because you want to go. Right. Okay, but not tomorrow. Right? Because
yes, tomorrow.
No, because I have a birthday party tomorrow.
Well, I only have tomorrow or Monday.
I can't.
Anyways, what was your hot topic?
I'm watching.
Would you ever get your nipples pierced?
No.
Really?
Because I have one inverted nipple, and I.
But do you think that would
just
help?
want one.
I have an inverted nipple too.
You do?
Yeah. Sometimes I wonder if it was cut in half and I didn't know about it as a child.
I like going to the doctor, a new doctor, when they see my inverted nipple. At the gyno, not like. One time I went to get a test for strep throat, and I hadn't been to the doctor in so long because I hadn't had insurance, and I went to go get a strep test, and I stripped down naked, and the doctor came in and was like, that is not necessary. Like, you're not at a physical. Anyway,
the doctor will tell me to take my clothes off and I'll be like, why?
Yeah.
And they'll be like, we have to check your body, you're at a dermatologist, we're looking for. I was like, you just don't know?
But every time I go to a new doctor, like a gyno or something, and they do like, because they check your breasts, and they're like, they get all freaked out about my inverted nipple because it's a sign of breast cancer sometimes, but I've had it my whole life. But I do like the fuss they make. I'm just like, don't worry, I'm fine.
Oh my God. See, you're the people on this app, but for sad attention.
Wait, I didn't tell you this. How much time do we have left? Because I have a wild story.
Well, it's our podcast, so we have we have plenty.
Okay, but I do have to go babysit, like I said.
Yeah,
okay.
I heard.
So, okay. We went out to dinner for my boyfriend's birthday, and we were driving home. We were in an Uber, and we turned like off a busy street onto a residential street at a light. It was a light. We were making a left.
I watched this online.
We were making a left, and we heard. I thought we sideswiped a traffic cone, and Houston thought we ran over a traffic cone, and the driver pulled over immediately, and I was like, why are we pulling over for a traffic cone? Like, just keep going.
Like, fuck that traffic cone, city property.
Going. And then I heard like a wail. And
he hit a whale?
I turned around, and a woman was crumpled up on the street next to her dog. Our Uber driver hit a person.
Can I just tell you something?
Whilst we were in the car.
When I watched that video of you talking about it on Instagram. When I watched that story, you know what my first reaction was? I said, I know Emily is so pissed that's on her that got hit. I know that Emily's there like, I wish I would have got hit. People would have been so sad for me.
Okay, so here's the thing. So the first thing I thought to myself.
I could see you like laying down by her. Like, I was too. Ow. They're like, you were in the car, ma'am. You're like, but was that? Like,
so the first thing that I thought was I flew out of the car. And I was like, this is not your moment. This is not your moment. Someone else got hit. You have to let someone else be the person that got hit.
You were like, she's going to have a big set. This Uber bill she's going to get, this check from Uber.
So she's laying a heap in the road, and she's fine. She's not hurt. I mean, she's physically fine. I mean, minus, getting hit by a car. I love being I got out of the car, and she was screaming at me. She was like, fuck you, you fucking bitch. I'm going to take your license. Like, and I was like, whoa, 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 lady. Like, I'm the passenger. Like, don't.
You said you don't want to start with me. You don't know me.
Yeah. And she's
Emily's down there. This woman's a crumpled a ball. You're down there like, I'll fucking ruin your life, bitch. I will call every hotel you try to stay in and cancel your reservation. You're going to make appointments for physical therapy, which you are going to need. And I'm going to be there and I'm going to Tanya Harding your good leg.
Okay. Well, that is something I would do is cancel a reservation.
And then they'd be like, is everything okay? And you'd be like, it's fine. Okay. Did you hear what I fucking said?
Anyway, she ended up being fine, but she was really worried about her dog, but her dog was fine. And then as I was kind of talking to her, and the Uber driver was really upset, obviously, because it was an accident, like it was a mistake. And
Did she yell at him? Or just you?
So here's the thing. But she said, oh, I was crossing the street and I didn't even look up. I was looking at my phone and bam. And I was like, you can't cross the street looking at your phone.
Well, what if she was blind? They crossed the street.
Don't look at anything. She's not blind. She wasn't blind. Anyway, it was pretty wild. And and then another wild thing is she wanted to call 911 to like make a report, and I love all that activity, so I stuck around. And
wait, would you have been, if you would have got hit by the car though? Would you have went to anger like she did, or what would you? Because I would have immediately been like, I'm fine. I'm totally fine.
Yeah,
Like, I
see, I don't know.
would have been so embarrassed that I got hit by a car.
Yeah. See, I don't know. I'm such a hypocrite because I was saying like, God, she needs to calm down. And Houston was like, if this were you, you would be inconsolable.
Your car got hit and you were inconsolable over that.
Like,
you were fine.
Yeah, like you would call the FBI. Like you know what I mean? But when it was her, I was like, God, get it together. Like
you're making a scene.
Such not a good personality trait.
Meanwhile, you're like in the background making your own scene. Like, she needs to get it together.
It took us 45 minutes to get 911 to answer the phone. 45 minutes. Like, I mean, we'd have been dead if it were like a hit, like a rob.
That doesn't seem normal. That seems like really
they didn't even
crazy.
they didn't even answer to say like, is this an emergency or non-emergency? Like it was like, and I understand like I'm not I know the police are very controversial. Like I don't think that LAPD needs tanks. I don't think 50% of our budget needs to go to like LA.
Whose budget?
Well, like the LA, there's a big thing right now. Like,
I know, but when they say 50% of our budget, I'm like, bitch. My budget. I'm over here trying to buy bread.
All right, but what I'm saying is like, I don't think LA needs like SWAT.
More phones.
Army
they need
tanks.
more phones. Is what you're saying? They need like employees to answer the phone.
Yeah, like I was just kind of like,
you're like, can we get like interns or something?
I was like, this is not great. Like you know, for like 45 minutes. Like, what if?
Did she lay on the ground the whole time?
No, she stood
I
up.
would have never moved from the ground. I would have been on the ground like.
But what if someone was having like a stroke or a heart attack? Like, lesson learned. You just have to fucking take them to the hospital yourself. You know what I mean?
Lesson learned. You gotta do a tracheal shave.
Lesson learned.
Or what are they?
Lesson learned. I'm gonna pay more attention when I drive because I am shocked I haven't hit someone yet.
Oh yeah, I all the time when I get out of the car, I'm like, thank you, dear Lord, for giving
Yeah,
me this.
yeah.
I'm always like thinking about something. Like sometimes I'll be driving and I'll be like, wait, was I like will come to.
Would you rather hit someone with your car and paralyze them? No. Would you rather hit someone with your car and kill them, or get hit by a car and be a quadriplegic for the rest of your life? That can't talk, walk, eat, anything.
Am I picking the person I'm hitting with the car?
No,
or is it random?
No, it's random.
I would probably pick the one to happen to me just because I couldn't imagine like killing.
The guilt, yeah.
That would be horrible. I mean, it would be horrible the other thing way, but I know that people can still live fulfilling lives.
Right.
And I couldn't live a life at all. If I could be a ghost. If I could be a little ghost, then maybe I'd be like, oh, you know what? I'll take a little peek over here.
Yeah.
And I could be like, because who knows? If I can ghost it up and do whatever I want, then maybe that's the life to live.
Right.
You know? Or is there going to be someone there who's a vampire that could change me really quick in my last moments of breath and I could live through that?
Maybe. I don't know. I've never
But if I also get to pick, like if I was like, you get to run over someone with your car, then I'd be like, well, I mean...
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it, but it would definitely be funnier.
It'd be easier.
Yeah, it would be
to make the decision. Yeah, it's a tough decision. It's one to noodle on.
Yeah. Okay, what would you pick?
Oh man, I think about this all the time.
That's not good. I don't think.
I definitely pick me getting hit.
Okay, but what if the option were Houston would get hit by a car and become a paraplegic, or you had to hit your mom with a car?
Oh my God, I'm not doing that. That's awful. Stop it.
Well, it's a really hard game. So life is hard.
Okay, have you ever seen the movie? Have you ever?
I'm not doing that. Stop it.
Have you ever?
You in a court of law. Stop it. I'm not doing that.
Have you ever seen the movie The Good Son? It's with Macaulay Culkin and what's the guy's name who is in?
Have you ever seen the movie Little Nicky? It's about a son too.
No, stop. Have you ever seen? It's Elijah Wood and.
I've seen Elijah Wood.
It's Elijah. Stop. It's Elijah Wood and Macaulay Culkin, and Macaulay Culkin's. I mean, sorry for the spoiler alert. The movie is 30 years old, but it's a movie about. Well, I'm saying, like, if I'm spoiling this for you, I'm sorry, but you've had 30 years to watch it, so I'm sorry. But it's about a woman whose son is Macaulay Culkin, and her nephew is Elijah Wood, and Elijah Wood's mother has passed away. So Elijah Wood comes to live with his aunt and his cousin, and Macaulay Culkin is evil, and you find out, like, murdered his little sister, and they're, like, 9-year-old boys. He's just, like, a psycho little boy.
Is that evil, or is it just boys being boys?
Something to think about. And so... Elijah Wood, at the end of the movie, Elijah Wood and Macaulay Culkin both, like, Macaulay Culkin pushes Elijah Wood off, like, a rocky cliff because they live on this, like, rocky cliff. And the mother, Macaulay Culkin's mother comes and is holding both boys by one arm. So she has Macaulay and she has Elijah, and she can only save either her son or her nephew by marriage. And
like Sophie's Choice.
Yeah. And so she chooses Elijah Wood. She lets her son drop because she knows her son is, evil. And
well, Macaulay Culkin had a good run too.
I constantly would say to my mom growing up, I'd be like, good son, me or Kate. And she'd be like, I'm not, like, that is ridiculous. I'm not answering that. And then when my niece was born, I said to my mom, good son, me or my niece. And she goes, don't ask questions you don't want the answer to.
Well,
she let me go.
Well, it's because in that scenario, you're not the good son.
That's true.
You're a little bitch. They're like, that's a little bitch. She's making it hard for
Yeah,
us.
the other book was a little bitch.
Yeah, because in that movie, the story you just told is like, this kid sucks and this one doesn't.
Yeah, but still, I mean, it'd be a pretty tough decision.
Yeah, but if your kid was like a murderer, wouldn't you be like, you suck?
But it's a fast, good shorthand way to say, like, good son, me or, you know what I mean? And then you know where you stand with the person.
It's like Sophie's Choice. The people have to say that about
Oh,
Sophie's
God,
Choice.
that's sad. That's devastating. Good son.
Well, because one of them's not evil.
Right. And it was the Holocaust. I mean, that's a whole nother layer of evil. All right. Well, nice to be nice.
It's nice to be nice. Thank you guys so much for listening. Please, like the podcast, rate, subscribe, share with all your friends.
If you don't like it, don't rate, don't subscribe. No, do subscribe,
if you
but don't
like
rate.
it, really focus on why.
Yeah.
And maybe.
But don't tell us why, because we don't want our feelings to get hurt.
Yeah, work on yourself. This is self-work.
We're open for feedback, but by that we mean compliments.
You should have that on. That should be your Instagram bio.
All right. Thank you guys. We love you.
Bye.